you might want to create a little bit of snow on the mountains. Now, as far as I know, there could be a snow texture in Unity. I think there is. You could actually use this flame thing. You got sand. So yeah, if we got this sand texture here, you can kind of like create like a sandy bit in the center. Oh, hang on, that was a bit bad. We won't make it as. We'll turn the strength down to about 0.6. Now this will sort of put it on the terrain, but you'll have a bit of grass underneath. So it'll look pretty good. I'll turn the brush size to about 60 as well. There we go. Put this sort of area in the middle. Basically just going to have sand is just going to be inside this sort of mountain area for some reason. Sand is just blown in the center. It's like a beach in the center. What we can also do is one thing I do like to do with all of terrain is to make it go up by 10, which I kind of should have done at the start, but it's a bit too late now. But I will kind of work on that in the next episode or something like that, or in a future episode. But what you can actually do now is you can put water in. Actually, what I'll do here, I'm going to put the height to about 3. What you can actually do is in this particular area here, you can increase the height, but just it'll go flat. And it's actually good. I kind of forgot this at the start of the terrain thing. It's a really good thing to do because then if you want to create water in any area of the map or rivers, it's kind of a good tool for that, because otherwise you have to sort of level out the terrain for that one piece of water. Yeah, you can have a whole terrain that's set for any water at all, unless it was like high up in a mountain or something. But now what you can do is you can like flatten it out there. If you hold Shift and click, you can create like a circle area here. Now down here, if you type in water, you'll have 2 different water things you can do: nighttime simple water or daylight simple water. Now these are the free version of Unity Water. If you have Unity Pro, then you'll have like daylight water and nighttime water. If you are in education, you can go to Studica, and if you submit the details that you're a student or something, you can get the Pro version of Unity for about £100. That includes VAT. I think it might be £110 now. Instead of paying the £1,000, and this will kind of like be able to give you some awesome effects to create your game. But I wouldn't recommend doing that until you've actually got something really good in Unity Free, and then you can move on to it in Unity Pro or something like that, or whatever. Unity Pro just has like camera effects, like you can do a lot of pre-built stuff and HD effects, but it's quite good. But don't get it unless you actually really need it. So what we have now is we have this water that I've scaled, obviously using R, which you can do yourself as well. Now I can position it to anywhere you want. Now I'm just going to put it to about here. It does have this here, like this terrain bit here. What you can do is you can use this water drop tool, and if you turn this down to wherever, you can actually smooth out this area and probably make it more circular, and it will look a lot better. Go over every bit of this. That means it'll look quite nice. And then what you can actually do is, if you go out to this tool here, you can create like a thing in the middle. So you can sort of create like a little island in the middle, or you can have like a little thing that comes off to go in. I don't know. Let's create a little island in the middle. If we go to the tree tool, which is here. Actually, there's one thing you got to know about the tree tool. You can create trees, but they will most likely not be solid unless they've been set up properly. So what we can actually do is I'm just going to put like a palm tree on here. If we've got any palm trees, we don't. Let's just check thin tree. Oh, did I put thin tree on there? Oh, it's really small. Now we can use the scale tool. So if you press R, you can scale this tree up by loads. Now right now, this tree will look like this, but really easily, all you have to do is you have to go nature, and then you go leaves, and then, oh, it does that. Oh my god. Okay, maybe that tree is slightly broken, we won't use that tree then. What other ones have we got? What about this one? Materials. It's got none. Okay, we'll just use big tree then. You can get different trees from the asset store, but we're looking to that in the future. There you go, I'll put a couple of trees on here. I was going to try and make it look like a little island in the middle, like a little beach in the middle of a beach. But we'll just put these trees in here for now. And that's that. So there you go, there's like a mini level set up with trees in the centre. But now you're going to be wondering, wait, but I want to put players into this. I want to be able to have maybe friends play. Now, hold your horses. Single player first, multiplayer second. You always focus on, unless it's a game that's built for multiplayer, focus on single player first. Because one, your level's not ready yet, and two, you're going to want to test your game work before you go on to multiplayer and starting to do that. So, now what we're going to do is if you go to your little search bar here, you can type in first, and then you'll get these two things here. Now, one of them is first-person control, and one of them is first-person controls. Well, you want to go to first-person controller first. You get it first, and then if you look in your game view, you'll now see, hang on, my camera's changed, but yet I haven't done anything. Well, it's because the player has now become the main camera of the game. But you're not able to play just yet, because if you go to your player, you click this arrow here, and you go to main camera there, you'll notice that your character's depth is 0, yet the main camera's is -1. Now, this is good. If this was any higher than your player's, this would overtake whatever is on your screen. So, what we can do is this main camera, we're not going to really need it now unless we animate it in the future for cutscenes. We're going to disable it because I don't think we need it. Or you could just remove it entirely, which is what I'm going to do now. It just kind of makes it, I have to think of, oh yeah, I should probably load it, but I'll just disable it. It just gives us a bit more kind of memory towards the game. It's not like any difference at all, but it's just one thing to do. Now if you hit the play button, go into your game, you notice that the game will follow with your mouse, and you'll be able to use WASD or keyboard input to do random things. You can go up to the tree and look at it. Doesn't have colliders right now, but we'll add them soon. And you can go into the water down here, or you can look at the water, and it's actually moving. You can go into the water, but we haven't added anything like an underwater script or anything. We are going to work on that soon. It's just a matter of fog control and player positioning, but we'll look into that in the future because don't need that right now. But yes, we can look at that soon. But right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stop that. So we've got the terrain here, which is awesome. We've got the trees and the player. So now you've got your player, but it's just a capsule. Well, for this game, we're going to make a first-person game. You can use third-person. There is a third-person controller. If you type in third, or third, yeah, if you type in third, you will get this controller here, but as far as I know, it doesn't always work. If I just, alright, yeah, it does work actually. You can create this third-person controller here and sort of wander around. You can jump, but the animations aren't really synced. There is also the first-person controller running around there. But for this one, we are going to go with first-person. But for multiplayer, the third-person variables in that here are really good to keep hold of. So don't delete the third-person controller from your assets at all, because for multiplayer, we're going to keep that and we're going to use that. So that's going to be awesome. People wondering about multiplayer, that will be in the intermediate series, which will, oh wait, the second series, after we've done the beginner. Or we'll do simple multiplayer, but that won't involve anything like animation, networking, or players seeing your third-person camera instead of you seeing, I don't know, whatever. We'll work on that in the future. So now what we've got is obviously we've got this, which is really awesome. But you might want some sound in your game for the water, running water, or something like that, or you may just want a sky in your game, because currently it's just grey or blue. So, if you go to your edit, render settings, you've got all these awesome things here, such as fog, which would actually create fog in your game for possibly a horror. You've got ambient light, which I would keep how it is. You also got skybox material. Now, if you go on skybox material, you've got some skyboxes here, which are overcast 1, overcast 2. There is skybox, which is actually here, but it doesn't work at all. It just does that. It's kind of broken in different Unity versions. So it's just like, just ignore that one for now. Or you got Sunny 1 or Sunny 2. If you don't have these, again, I think it's just the terrain assets thing I've got. If you don't have them, let me know and I will link you guys or make a little tutorial on how to get those. But I will use the ones I think I know you guys have got, which is Dawn Dusk. And so I'm going to use this. There is Eerie Skybox. We're going to use Dawn Dusk for this. Basically, the sun for this is actually over there. So it kind of would make sense that their light is actually focusing on there, and it's not so light over this mountain. But we'll look at that in the future. So you go back into your game, go to the game view, you'll now get this awesome sky in your game. It kind of matches your scene, but not entirely. But we'll look on that in the future, and we'll make it look a bit nicer. So now you're going to be wondering, well, I want some stuff on my screen. I want like text or different images on the screen. We're going to have a look at that now. We're going to look at the programming for the game now. Because basically, all you need to know now is you can do anything now with this level. You can go game object, create other. You can put a cube in, or a sphere. Actually, one thing to note is that if you want to create something by your player, if you double click on your player and click F, which will focus onto your player, you can click Game Object, create Other, and create Cube, and it will create it in this exact position, and that way you can put it anywhere you want. You can put it just above the terrain, you can change the size, you can change the texture, you can put material on it, such as Spark. You've got this weird looking cube that just has sparks on it, and you can look at this cube, you can stand on the cube. Currently, you can't really do anything else with it, but it's a cube that's just sitting there with a spark texture on it. Bit of drink. Okay. So now, what we can do, if you go to your assets folder, which is here in your project, you can create a new folder, or new folder. You're gonna call it script underscore for my game. You don't have to put the for my game, whatever. It's just so you can find it a little bit easier in the future. Now you're going to do is you're going to right click, you're going to create JavaScript, and then you're going to call this player underscore UI. Basically, this is going to be for your player, and it's going to be the UI of the screen. It's going to handle all the things that are going to be on your screen, such as text, anything like that. It's going to take variables from your multiplayer or something. It's just going to get them displayed on the screen. Now, there is Java and C#. The difference between them is Java is kind of better for certain things, and so is C#. C# is normally better for multiplayer, and Java is normally good for UI stuff or basic things. But we'll look into the more advanced ways in using C# and Java together in the future, like get component, which is a thing we'll learn. But right, so now we've got this awesome thing called MonoDevelop. But you're like, well, what is this? It's opened up on my computer yet. What do I do? How do I code? Well, one thing you're gonna know is we're gonna learn a few things first. If you do var, we're gonna call this current boxes, and then you're gonna do like a colon, and you're gonna put int, and you put equals 0. So current boxes equals 0. var boxes available int equals 10. There's going to be 10 boxes available on the map. Now var is finished, or has boxes boolean equals false. It's done in full string. Hang on, false. And then you got to make sure you put this little curly colon thing on the end. Now an int is a number, a whole number. A boolean is a true or false statement. And there are a few other things I'm going to show you now, such as var player name, which is a string. A string is a text, but you need to put capital S for Java. And then you put equals, and then you use quotation marks, and you're going to call it player name, and then you're going to do that. But you don't have to do that. You're going to just put whatever you want your username to be. So I'm going to call this one Steam Fire Gamer. And then that's that, and you add your little bracket on the end. So we can actually use these to do stuff. Now you can actually add images as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to put box image. So var box image, texture, 2D, and you're going to end that off. And that is actually going to be an image file that you can put on your screen, which you're going to look at. Now, is there anything else I missed? Yes, there's actually a float. So var distance float. Now this we're going to actually use for the distance of where something is. So you actually put this to 0.05 or something. This actually goes into decimals. You normally add an F on for certain things, but we're actually not going to set that to be equal to anything right now. But that's pretty much what you're going to need to know. So we've got all these variables here that we're going to be using. So start, in this start thing, you're going to want to put current boxes equal to 0, just to make sure you have them set to 0, so there are no boxes when you start your level in the game. We can also set the amount of boxes available to something, the amount of certain things that are in the game. So you may have different levels with this. Basically, this game is going to be you go around collecting boxes to unlock something, I don't know, or within a time limit. So what this is going to be is boxes available is going to be equal to how many are in the level. So you don't have to create different scripts or anything for how many are in the level. We can actually just make it find out how many there are. So what you can do is boxes available equals get game object dot find game objects with tag, and you're going to put boxes dot to string dot game objects with tag boxes, and then we're gonna convert those into an int later. Actually, just wait. Dot get length. Sorry. So you're gonna get dot length there, and then that should actually convert back into an int if I'm correct. Can I convert function int? Huh? 1060. Let's find out what that is. Not telling me what that is right now. Function int to int dot get length dot equals boolean to int. Alright, okay. So you want to do dot get value. Sorry, there we go. That should probably be it. Oh no, maybe not. We'll get there in the end. Dot length. There we go. So the dot length is actually going to be how many objects are in there at the start. Now update, we're going to detect the distance in the update, but we're going to do that in a future episode. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a GUI function called onGUI. Make sure you type it out exactly like this, otherwise it will not work and it will sort of break. And then we can put some functions in here, such as GUI in caps dot label, and then you want to do two brackets inside of each other. You'll put new rect, and you're just going to, for now, you're going to put 10, 10, 100, 30. And then after that, you're going to put a comma with some speech, and then we're going to put current boxes in here, and you're going to put like a code on there, and you're going to put plus current boxes dot just current boxes. And what that was going to do is going to display current boxes on the top of the screen. Oh no, actually you have to attach to the camera. So you go to the main camera down here, go to project, you go to player UI, drag it onto the camera, it's actually down here. So if you look at this, it's actually up there. Current boxes is equal to 0. But there's a box here, but we want to collect it. And actually it's also, as you can see here, box available is set to 10. Boxes is not defined as a tag. So tag boxes does not exist in this thing here. Look, no boxes in here at all. We can't set anything to be a box. But we're going to look at that in a minute. So, what we're going to do now is actually go into this, and then you can obviously see this, which is good. What we're going to want to do now is current boxes, and then you're going to do plus space, and then a slash, and out of boxes available. This is going to be current boxes, the amount of boxes you've got, out of box available. What we're going to do here is create a little function here. If current boxes is greater than or equal to boxes available, then you could do has boxes equal to true, and then you're going to create a function in the onGUI called if has boxes equals true. Put your curly little brackets up there, and then what we're going to do is going to have a little GUI that's going to appear, but in the middle of this screen. So we can delete all of this. You can actually copy your code. You can put game over, and we're going to actually make this go in the center of the screen. So this is X, this is Y, this is the width of the text, and this is the height. That's a good way to remember it. So screen dot width divided by 2 minus 50. So basically, it's going to be half. You're going to sort of remove half of whatever this variable is here. And with this, it's going to be screen dot width dot height, height, divided by 2 minus 15. That's going to place it exactly in the center of the screen. We play. Oh, it's got a bit of a problem here. Let's have a look. Box is available. Oh no, that's just that. Clear. Semicolon. Oh yeah, I forgot semicolon. Ooh. So now hit play. Obviously got, it says it's sort of stuck like this. Got like out of 10 up here. That's only because it didn't set the right length. So you can do here is you can set 150, 30. That'll give you another 50 pixels of text. You see current box out of 10. 0 out of 10 is correct. Now box available, we're actually just going to set to 0 straight away. So it's going to actually say game over now. As soon as I make it a bigger variable, it's actually not going to do anything. So else has boxes is equal to false. If we actually change the variable, it should actually just instantly go, oh wait, no, there isn't enough. Oh, there we go. Now it's done it, so it goes 0. So we actually put this to 0. Let's say game over. If we put this to 1, wait, haven't got all the boxes yet. So that is actually working. That function is now working. What we can actually do, if we can make it go back to the main menu or something, we're going to look at that in the future to create a little main menu with buttons and that. So now we've got all these boxes and stuff like that. We've got all the amount that we're going to need, but we haven't used all of these up yet. We've only used these first 3 here. Now we can use this player name variable pretty easy. All we have to do is the start of this player name equals Playerprefs dot get string. I'm actually going to find player name like that. This is actually going to be like a save thing we're going to use. I'm going to teach you this now. So Playerprefs will get string player name, basically something which will store your name. Now, what we're going to just quickly do here in the start function, if Playerprefs will get string is equal to null, then we're just going to set Playerprefs dot set string player name to we're just going to call it player 1. So that will just set the player name to be player 1 if it doesn't exist. If we look down here, actually there's null here. There's actually nothing down here. There's no player name because it hasn't been detected. But actually, we won't put it in that. We will put it in here. Equals null dot. Oh, we'll just put it to null. So we play now. It might actually receive that information as it to be player 1. No. We'll look into that now. Okay, just because the box isn't defined, we'll actually we'll get rid of this. But down here, we're just going to copy this code here. It's going to make it so it finds out what the player name is. So we're going to call this player and then plus player name, which is there. And we're going to set the Y position to be 50. So it'll be 50 down. So player name, and it's obviously nothing right now, but it's just because it has been set properly. So This function actually doesn't seem to be working. It's probably because I haven't set that up right. That is okay. No problem there. We're actually going to now create a thing called a text box. So this is where we're going to put in the player name. We are going to add this to the main menu, but I'm just going to create a text box now just so we actually have this certain thing added. I'm going to create GUI dot text field, and then what we're actually going to see, if we do this, you're going to see what's actually going to need to be. So we're going to need the position, we're going to need text, and the string. So it's like the other ones. So we want it to be new rect. It's a rect. The position is going to be 10 in. It's going to be 80 down. It's going to be about 100 long. It's going to be about 30 in height. You do that, and then you set the actual thing to be player name, and then that's that. I think. Yep, that's that. So player name is actually what this text box here is going to be. Yeah, there isn't any player names. You can type in anything in here. Oh, no we can't. True. Oh, true. That just allows us to edit it. Oh no. Boolean was not found. Unity3D GUI text field. Alright, okay, sorry. This is why. Player name equals. Sorry, I always forget this when I create these. So this should be fine. So player name is going to be set to lol. So it's just going to instantly just set to lol there, of course. But we're going to actually set, obviously, player name equals that. Then player name actually equals this. So we're just going to put this down here as well. So that every time this is edited, it's actually just going to save it instantly. But we're just going to also add a space there. We can add the amount that you can edit this and stuff like that. For now, we're not. So we're going to set the player name. So I'm going to set mine to Ross. Oh, Ross. No. Oh, no, it's not doing that. Probably because we're setting an update function. Oh. Update. Playerprefs. Actually. Oh, no. Playerprefs dot set string player name to player name. There we are. Oh, play. So this can now be edited again. So you can set this to Ross 993. It's going to save that. You can stop playing. You can come back, and it will be saved as to whatever you want it to be. So I've set my name to be that, and we can make this be set and changed. But there we go. Game over, obviously, and stuff like that. So that's really awesome. So that is going to be the first few tutorials for this recording session. It's been about 45 minutes or so, but I'll sort of edit this out and upload these. Actually, no, I'll leave these unedited. It's the uncut series. You can just kind of like go through a little bit and whatever. You might have to skip certain parts, but I will probably say to you on YouTube, oh yeah, skip forward like 3 seconds or something. I don't know, whatever. But yes, thank you very much for watching this tutorial so far. I'm going to kind of stop here because I'm interested in to see what you guys actually want me to do with the series. We are going to make it so you collect boxes in the next episode by you using colliders. But that's all for this time. You now have learned how to put stuff on the screen, such as text boxes, saving data, saving input and making it do stuff with variables. Now I want you guys to actually maybe create something with this. Like you could actually have something we have 2 buttons. Actually, I haven't shown you how to do buttons, but if you go to the Unity3D script reference, you can actually learn that yourself. It's also good to look at the script reference. I have a link in the description to that. You can actually find out things yourself, such as buttons, GUI stuff, get a component, and all those other things. Actually a really good source of information to look at. But the next tutorial will be actually learning how to use colliders to pick up these boxes that we're going to have, and then we're going to make a little main menu and stuff. But that is all for today's episodes and recordings. So, yes, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and the videos will get slowly better as we go along. Thank you very much for watching, and good night, everybody, or goodbye.